back. So the Western Cape government is on high alert following the South African Weather Service upgrading the weather warnings from today from level 6 to level 8 with heavy rains. Now, some schools in the province will remain closed, but how prepared is the province? To answer that question, we are now joined by a Premier for the Western Cape, Winde. Premier, a good morning to you. He joins us on the line. Premier, I think let's start with what the weather's looking like in your own words, what it's looking and feeling like in the Western Cape this morning.
Well, I mean, there's been quite a lot of wind and heavy rain through the night. I'm actually not in the middle of the city or Stellenbosch at the moment. I'm actually over the pass on the other side, on the Grabo side, but lots of rain through the night and lots of reports of flooding in the city at the moment. Roads are flooded, and we're just asking people to please be very careful. Don't venture in flooded road. We need to make sure that safety is first. In the Drakensberg region, we've evacuated. Yesterday, we already had an issue with the farm dam that was under pressure, and we have now made that decision. We evacuated people below the dam as a precautionary measure. The teams are out across the region. That's expected now to have a lot of rain today, and it's not as if it's just started. So it started over the weekend already. So we're day 5 now, or day 6 even. And so the rivers are already full, dams are full, water's being released from dams, and a lot of water. And we really are just asking people to stay safe, listen to the authorities. And then I say thank you to those men and women who are out there, making sure that we're doing everything to keep our citizens safe.
Okay, let's get this clarified now, Premier. Where schools are concerned, so the areas where schools are remaining closed, do you know how long that's going to be as well?
Well, of course, we will judge it. We up until about lunchtime yesterday, we still hadn't made that decision. But, monitoring the weather services, we then made the decision yesterday afternoon, and those are the closing of the schools for the day. We'll make that decision again today from disaster management, that they will be open tomorrow, or we will keep them closed. It just depends on the severity of the rain and the storms and the flooding, and we'll make that decision again. So the schools that are closed at the moment are in the city of Cape Town, in the Stellenbosch and in the Paarl or Drakensberg municipal regions. And we, of course, are monitoring then the periphery as well, and as the storm moves over the province.
Yeah. And do you know the specific areas? So schools aren't remaining suspended in the entire province, right? Are there specific areas?
In the Garden Route and the Karoo, you are not in that severe warning area. Mm-hmm. But remember, we have had a series of cold fronts going through. Schools in other areas have got other issues, and people, obviously, those schools also, we make decisions based on those specific areas. So there's parts of the Karoo high-lying areas where there are passes that are closed because of, so those areas are dealt with individually. As I said, we made the decision at lunchtime yesterday, but before that, we had 18 schools closed at that stage because of various stages or flooding and damage to those specific schools, or risk in those specific areas.
And what's your tally on the extent of the damage? What I've got is 4,500 people displaced, 15,000 structures damaged?
Oh, no, there are more people than that displaced. We're probably looking at, let me say there's probably about 15,000 people affected already. Initially on Saturday already, there were 4,000 people displaced in Khayelitsha from informal settlements and low-lying areas. People are displaced, and then we manage to move back, depending on the damage structures or the severity of the storm. But, this is running into quite a few days now. And so, there's a lot of people. And we must also then say thank family members, the friends, the people just in the area. And then, of course, the NGOs and the NPOs also stepping in to make sure that we're helping each other.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of consultation that happens at provincial government level with experts on really what to expect. I mean, just how much warning were you given, and, how do you prepare for this much inclement weather that could impact over close to 15,000 people, as you say?
I'm very proud of the disaster management system between all of our municipalities, City of Cape Town and the districts, going down to the municipalities across the province. I mean, we get tested through fire, we get tested through severe storms quite regularly, and the provincial disaster management team. I mean, we already had our first disaster management meeting called on Friday. So when the warnings come in, we automatically kick in the system, and we start identifying where's the risks, who needs to step in and do what, and then of course the deployments start happening, and from traffic to policing or whomever.
Yeah. Well, just lastly, before I let you go, perhaps a message to those that are traveling. I mean, it's early in the morning. Some of them will be making their way to work, and really concerned about, how they do so.
So in the city itself, they already put out messages yesterday to say to people, please, think a bit differently about what time you expect people to get to work. If people can work from home, please work from home. So already started with those kind of messaging. People must be tolerant. And then my message is safety first. So, if you come out of your house, you get in your car, you start driving down the road and there's water everywhere, rather don't take a chance. And please don't cross rivers or big moving open pieces of water. The risks are too high. So safety must be first, and we ask people to make judgment calls.
Yeah. All right. We're going to leave it there. Premier, thank you so much for speaking to us. Premier for the Western Cape, there, Winde, who says to us that, 44,000 people were displaced. That's just in Khayelitsha 2 days ago. So those numbers said to obviously look a lot worse, and encouraging people to stay safe in the Western Cape. If you are in those areas, do tweet us images of what things are looking like. X us images at Newzroom 405. Premier Winde there for the Western Cape. All right.